Are we living in the end time? That might seem like a crazy question to some people, but you look at what's happening in the world and it's not that hard to understand why people are beginning to ask that question. Is this the end time? But how do you know? Well, believe it or not, there is a correct answer to this question. I'm Joel Hilliker, managing editor of the Philadelphia Trumpet News magazine. The phrase time of the end comes from the Bible. It's describing a period leading up to Jesus Christ's second coming, and it culminates in a short, intense period of unprecedented violence, worse than any in history, violence so bad it could annihilate all human life. Jesus Christ himself forecasted this period in detail. In Matthew chapter 24, Christ explained, "You shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So wars of themselves don't signal the end. Jesus then said, "There shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." So when you see wars increasing, when you hear rumors of wars, and you see famines and pestilences and earthquakes all picking up, don't just pretend everything is normal. Take notice. Jesus then explained a specific sequence of events leading to what he called great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. This is no ordinary war. This is a catastrophic world war on a scale human beings have never experienced. World War I was called the war to end all wars, but sadly it didn't end all wars. World War II was even worse. More than 60 million people died. That war ended with 2 atomic bombs exploding over 2 Japanese cities. Suddenly mankind had entered the age of weapons of mass destruction. Since then, we've had wars and rumors of wars. In fact, there have been over 250 significant armed conflicts around the world since then, but none has been as deadly as World War II. Yet Christ's prophecy shows that another, even worse, world war is coming. Look at the devastating weapons mankind has created since those first 2 atomic bombs. Bombs that can incinerate skyscrapers, pathogens that can poison millions of people, toxins that are so dangerous that they can kill even the armies that deploy them. Now notice the very next thing Christ said in his prophecy about the time of the end. "Except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved alive." Christ himself said that right at the end, human beings would reach a point where our weapons could destroy everyone on the planet. Could that prophecy have been fulfilled in the age of the bow and arrow, or the musket and cannon, or the tank, or even the airplane? It's only in the last couple of generations that we've possessed weapons of mass destruction. And now we've had these weapons for a couple of decades now, but more recently we've entered the time of the proliferation of these weapons. Today, unstable Pakistan, unpredictable North Korea have these nuclear weapons. Terrorists sponsoring Iran is about to get them. A lot of former Soviet nuclear sites have lax security. Even sites in America and Europe are vulnerable to theft. On top of that, we live in the age of terror. Terrorists have proven that they're willing to use any weapon they can get their hands on, even if it means committing suicide. So people can say that it's extreme to believe these weapons are going to go off in our lifetime, but look at what is happening. And you have to say, really, it's extreme to believe they never will. Is it a coincidence that we now have the exact types of weapons that can fulfill Jesus Christ's own prophecy? Is it a coincidence that these weapons are proliferating, that the world is getting more and more unstable? Or are these the specific signs that Christ gave that we are living in the end time? Now, that's not the whole story. Remember, Christ said those days should be shortened. So the same God who told us that we're going to enter this dark world that we see around us, he also promised that he's going to cut these dark days short. Christ said that immediately after the tribulation of those days, people will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. The end of this world will lead immediately to the beginning of a new world. Now, if you see the dangers in the world around you, and if you believe the Bible, you can also know that there is great hope. Jesus Christ is about to return. I'm Joel Hilliker. Thanks for watching. Christ prophesied in detail about the signs preceding the end time. If you want more proof he was talking about our time today, here's a great place to start. Nuclear Armageddon is at the door. Click here to read this easy-to-understand booklet online right now. You can also ask for your own personal print copy, and we'll send you one in the mail absolutely free.